So what strategies could I use to boost my chances of getting into college? That's the question. You're a senior or even a junior, you're at the point where now it's just about maneuvers. It's about taking those numbers, making them pop, making them shine, cleaning them up, and getting into the best colleges. So the first thing is what I was talking about, have options. Now, for a lot of you, the first reason to have options is to have a dream, to give some inspiration. When you're in school, day in, day out, it's hard to work unless you have a goal, unless you have something that you're working towards. So if you throw, one of your children into the school, you say, oh, work hard, but why? Why do I have to work hard? Because, education is very important. It's not a message that necessarily resonates. You have to give them a goal just like you need to have a goal. It could be making money or a certain, standards that you set for yourself. In the same way, you need to put it in front of them. So give them the option, give them the dream, and let them go to work every day for themselves as part of something that they're building for themselves. So that's the first thing, have option. But there's also a strategic reason to have options. And then we have a strong applications, and we'll get through all these details. Now, in order to introduce this, I'm going to tell you a story about myself and my law school application tale. So in 2014, I said, I'm going to apply to law school. I always like arguing. My mother in the audience would say, Morris, you should just be a lawyer. So I said, I might as well. I got to do something with my education, the fact that I could do well on standardized tests. I applied to go to law school, and I thought I had a brilliant strategy for the application. I'm just going to apply to Penn, NYU, Harvard, Columbia. That's where I want to go. If I don't get in there, and some of you might be like, well, I'm only going to this school. Why would I apply to other places? And this story is really going to make that very, very clear. So I applied to those schools, and this is my senior year of college, and I have all dreams of where I'm going to go, and then, boom, on the wait list. This is in May. And where do you go from there, really? You're just sitting, waiting. Like, literally, it's a wait list. You just sit, for months. And everyone's like, oh, Morris, what are you doing next year? And I'm like, I might go to law school, and the odds of getting off the wait list are maybe 1%. People don't get off the wait list, so really I'm not going to law school. I don't know what I'm doing. So the following year, I come back with a changed approach. And my approach is, I apply to Harvard, I apply to NYU, I apply to Penn, I apply to Columbia, but then I also apply to WashU, Berkeley, Vanderbilt, UCLA, USC, Michigan, Northwestern, Georgetown, Fordham, BU, Duke. I don't know. And these applications cost me like $100 a pop. I'm paying out of pocket now. I'm a big boy. So I'm down $2,000 on the application. And you say, why? This guy's got to be an idiot. Would you even go to any of these schools? I don't know. You would think of what is the thinking behind this. And you're going to see the strategy play out, and you'll be like, oh, okay, this guy, it made sense. What happened? I got waitlisted at Harvard, NYU, Penn, Columbia, just like I had the previous years. My numbers hadn't changed. There's no reason I should not be on the wait list. And I got admitted to a couple of them, Northwestern, number 10, Georgetown, Law 13, and a bunch of the others. They're still good schools. But, I didn't want to go to those schools. It was never my plan. So, really, it looks like I'm just where I was to begin with, no positive progress. And what happened is, I'm going to just give a little spoiler. The end here is the pile of acceptance grew. And I ended up getting into NYU, I ended up getting into Penn, I ended up getting into Michigan, and I ended up getting into Berkeley. I didn't try to get off the other two wait lists just because I was too overwhelmed. So I got off of everywhere that I tried. And how did I just say a miracle? How did I do it? It doesn't seem realistic. The previous year I couldn't get off. So I'm going to tell you that, and then I'm going to frame it in a way that's going to make sense for you and give you the way to exploit the loophole that I exploited. You're going to see how wonderful the system could work. So how did I get off the wait list? Two key concepts: leverage and intent. Leverage is the idea, like in any negotiation, you have to be able to walk away. You have to have somewhere else that you're going to go. During my correspondence with these schools, I was telling them I was in, I just got into Northwestern, but I want to come here. And then the school's like, oh, Northwestern wants them. Maybe we want them. All of a sudden you're desirable. Also, I'm coming from a more confident frame. And also, intent. Showing the school I want to be there. And that's going to be a huge key in the presentation. So let's backtrack and go into your application, and then I'm going to tie it all together. So you have the components of your application. You have your GPA. How many juniors are in the crowd? Hands up. Okay, if you're a junior, the easiest way to make your application better is to raise your GPA. The easiest way to raise your GPA is to actually care. That's it. It's very simple. There's really three kinds of students in school. There's the real nerds that not only care, but are freaking out over the details. That's one category. If that's you, that's like most of our panel. Then that's obviously a good thing. So that wasn't me. Then there's people that really do not care at all. And I don't know if I have to point out any people here, but those are the people that are really just like I don't know, you're just like sleepwalking through it. Oh, we have a test today? Oh man. Oh God, oh, I forgot, right? That's the other category. And then there's the people that like, they're not the biggest losers, they just care. Like if there's a test, they actually care about what the result is. That just by flipping that switch, your GPA goes up 6 or 7 points. So if you're not in that category, I doubt you'd be here tonight, but that's a very simple fix. Start caring. If you do care, take it up a step. Be regimented, be disciplined. These are all skills that will transfer with you throughout your life. They're important things. There's no reason why you wouldn't do it. GPA, okay, we know. If you're a senior though, all right, you know, it is. SAT, ACT, it is what it is. If you're in the audience and you still have a shot at it, talk to the seniors. They'd kill for a higher SAT. It's like the best thing you can do in your life. We have the course, work hard, come early, work extra, put yourself out there. And then we have the components of the application. This is what you guys want to hear about if you're seniors. The personal statement, Ariel talked about this. Common application, it's the application consolidator. I upload one personal statement, I send it out to all the schools. That's your core story. Personal statement, your resume, and your supplements. And the supplements are in red because it's going to be a big part of the story. So the personal statement is 5 questions on the Common App essay. I don't want to get into too much detail here. A lot of you know them. I made a video. It's on YouTube. It looks like this. It's me talking into a camera with some points there. But honestly, it's an incredible video. Some of you will watch it. I think it's my best to date. Anyhow, so yeah, that'll take you to the personal statement. I don't want to labor on it. I have tons to say about it, but I just don't want to do it now. The resume should look gorgeous like this. Not gorgeous like it looks on this screen. Gorgeous like it looks on my Retina display computer. But things that you can see, structure, and a lot of words. And it doesn't matter what the words are. Exaggerate, embellish. They know you're just kids. But definitely, and if you're a junior, extracurriculars, be involved. This is all they want to know in terms of extracurriculars. Do you do anything besides going to school? Anything, or otherwise you just trudge to school on a daily basis. That's all they want to know. If you're sitting up in your room and you're an Xbox champion, they'd be interested in knowing. At least you've accomplished something. If you know every single TV show, even tell them that. Tell them that you did something, and that you pursued excellence, because someone who pursues excellence in one thing pursues excellence in a lot of things. Someone who knows what it takes to master something masters a lot of things. So if you've done it, and you know if you've done it, or you know if you're on that path and you've taken something, it could be a sport, taken it to the next level, you know what that's like. It's replicable. It's the same thing you can do again and again and again throughout your life. That's your resume. Now, supplements are the strangest thing. They're questions like, these are some of them. What first sparked your interest in Cooper Union? Why do you want to go to Barnard? Why do you want to go to NYU? Why do you want to go to GW? Why do you want to go to Babson? I remember when I was a senior, they asked me, why do you want to go to Penn? What the heck do I know? I have no idea. What do I know about Penn? I don't go there. I know it's a good school, I guess. Ben Franklin went there. I'm putting a Ben Franklin quote in my essay, and I'm so befuddled. Why in the world is this even here? What do they want from me? What do they expect from me? And it took me years to understand it. And once I did, this is the key that unlocked everything. It all comes down to a word you probably never heard before. It's called yield rate. Yield rate. I'm trying not going to lose you in the intricacies of it, but all it means is this. What percentage of the students accepted to a given college attend that given college? It's the numbers the college obsess about. If you don't understand that, examples are better. So we'll go that direction. Dartmouth College. 50% of those admitted attend. Very simple. So they send out acceptances and people reject them. No one likes to get rejected. College is included for a number of reasons. One, it looks bad. 2, it creates logistical nightmares for the department. How many people do we accept? Are we at our medians? Oh no, our better people are rejecting us and the worst people aren't. How do we know who wants to come and who doesn't want to come? Now, why are people rejecting Dartmouth? Dartmouth's a great school. Well, probably because they're going to Harvard, 81% yield rate, right? The people that got into Dartmouth also got into Harvard. Makes sense. These were their safety schools. They don't want these guys. There's actually something called yield protect. I got yield protected in my law school journey. We don't accept you because you're probably too good for us. Write us a letter and tell us that you want to come and we'll accept you. That's simple. I got off the wait list. But once you understand the thinking, that's what gives you the key. That's what lets you slip it. Yield rate. They want to know that you want to be there. And if you don't believe me that that's the case, look at the article in the Harvard Gazette. 82% of those admitted to Harvard come in. Let's show off about our incredible yield rate, right? This is something that they brag about. And this is also something that they panic about. Yield rates are declining. Why? Yield rates fluctuate. Oh no, the yield rate crisis, like the housing crisis. Why are yield rates declining? Because we have the Common App now. So everyone just like click, 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 click. I get into 10 colleges, I reject 9 of you, and I go to 1, boom, all your yield rates decline. This is the position we want to be in. It's the position they don't want us to be in. How do we solve the yield rate crisis if we're on a college admissions board? 2 ways. We accept kids from binding early decision. Binding early decision, very simple. Promise me if you get in, you come. I'll give you a higher odds of getting in because I know I want you. You're 100%. You're a shoo-in. 30% up from 15, almost double the chances you get an early decision. And the second way, they add supplements. It's like, okay, you want to apply to our school, jump through some hoops for us. Literally hoops. Jump through some hoops. You can't just apply, just by clicking. Just answer some strange questions, at the very least. So now the whole thing breaks open to me. I understand what they want. I actually understand a way that I can make myself more compelling than my numbers indicate. So the day that I get my waitlist letters from UCLA, I hit them with an email. Thank you so much for your consideration. I'd like to be upfront that UCLA is my first choice, and if admitted, I'll unequivocally attend. Why UCLA, you ask? Oh, the opportunity to study under Professor Con Corbin, Law and Behavioral Sciences, Albert J. Moore, criminal law, the death penalty, fascinating stuff, and Clyde Stillinger, who like me plays the saxophone and studies law and sees the intricacies. I'm dying to meet the man. And then I emailed Penn the same thing. I'd like to let you know that Penn is my first choice. If it admitted, I'll unequivocally attend. Why Penn, you might ask? Oh, well, the chance to study under David Abrams, whose work using economic models to figure out how laws affect incentive structure is precisely what I've been studying as an undergraduate.
And they read these things?
Well, let's hear the end of the story. It seems to be the case. Stephen Vivas, this guy, Professor Stuart Diamond, I ordered his book. It is sitting on my bookshelf. It's never been read, but that's not what I said. Professor Stewart's book of Getting More. And then Michigan, your admissions committee. I just want to let you know that this is my first choice. I came to visit. I always say you came to visit. Down. I came to visit. It was incredible. And then I sent the rest of them that I was on the wait list, the same email, except for Columbia and Harvard. I was getting overwhelmed, and you really have to do some research here. Treat it like a full-time job. And did it work? Did they read this stuff? This sounds like garbage. How could this work? Well, yeah, the window of accept schools started to grow. NYU, I harassed straight from when I got waitlisted. For 6 months, I was hitting them with emails. At one point, I was sending them the emails that I sent to the kids in the program. You guys, I was forwarding it to them. Oh, you want to see what kind of work I do? Check this out. Check this out. I was just promoted in my own company to this role. We just got a new program here. I hit them maybe once a week. I was visiting. I did everything because I understood. If accepted, I will unequivocally attend in NYU. If accepted, I will unequivocally attend in Penn. If accepted, I will unequivocally attend Michigan, Berkeley. I'm off all the wait lists. It's magic. The chances of these happening are not high at all. And this doesn't even get into the scholarship negotiation that I pulled. It started with the fact that I applied to a lot of different colleges. So Washington, number 16, I deserve a full ride there. I got it, $150,000, free law school. But then you turn to, you turn to Fordham and you say, look, Washington gave me free. I'd love to go to Fordham. Fordham's my first choice, but I can't come for $150,000. Okay, $120,000 scholarship. Then I turned to number 10 school, Northwestern. Look, I'd love to come. I'm dying to come. But, money's money. I got it. Okay, $165,000, completely free. Not only that, they're flying me out to see the schools. I'm in Northwestern. I'm in St. Louis. You asked me, what did I do last year? I was a world traveler on their dime. I plan to do it probably again next year, to be honest. Meet smart people. It's an enjoyable experience. Michigan, off the wait list to $150,000 scholarship. I turned the wait list into the scholarship. Georgetown Law, same thing. It's a bizarre story, but it has very, very real implications for all of you, and that's why I'm telling you, that's why I'm sharing it, and the risk of sounding like the biggest schemer in the world. But number one, have options. A lot of you might say, am I really going to send my kid to dorm? First of all, we have a panel of kids, they're all religious, nice, sweet people from good families. They're going to tell you about their experiences. Some of them live home, some of them don't. This is not even cracked the surface of the people that wanted to come in. There were 5 guys from NYU that work at hedge funds right now. They're making $150,000 1 year out of college. They couldn't come because they're at work until 1 in the morning. There's the guys all the girls that are in FIT, getting Creighton, Marymount, that I could have brought in here, Parsons. I want to show what the options are, what's possible, and what our experience has been. I lived in the city at NYU, much to my parents' chagrin, probably, but I think I turned out all right. She probably has a different opinion. But we've had good experiences. We want to share more about it. But even if you say my kid's not going, apply for a strategic purpose. And also apply for this reason, because what's the end of this law school story? I didn't go, I'm here, this is what I do. I do this because I like it, because I like working with you guys, I like inspiring, I like exercising my creativity. But it felt so much different to make that decision from a place of power, a place of confidence, a place where I turn them down instead of being rejected. It's the same way for all of you, I'm sure. People are going to ask you where you're at the college the rest of your life. At least say that you had the option, at the very least. So apply to a lot of different schools. That's there. And then have a strong application, and this is where it really ties in. Brooklyn College, essay recommended. Essay recommended means essay required. Write an essay. I mean, how lazy do you have to be? This is for every single school you apply to. Send them an additional essay about how it's the only school you want to go to. You've been dreaming since you were little. Look, they know that the professor thing might be a little bit contrived, but they also know that this shows someone that's at least willing to work to get what he wants. It says more than a lot of the people. So, supplements. They ask you, why Barnard? We're going to ask Leah what she said, why Barnard? Everyone here has had to do something like that. They researched, they went on the website, they came up with some kind of story. You'll hear it. This is what you should do. Work the system. Make sure everything you submit's well written. Make sure everything you submit sounds smarter than you actually are. Make things happen that wouldn't ordinarily be plausible because of it. Blanket, 10 schools, minimum. Because the thing about the investment I made, $2,000, I got $165,000 back. I went to NYU undergraduate, $25,000 a year cheaper also. Granted, I had high scores. I'm not promising any of that for you, but the options are worth the money. It's not like, you're going to end up paying for these schools. So this is just a drop in the bucket.